Well, I fear what would happen to the country if one of these attempts was successful. The suspect in this second assassination attempt has social media posts that are word for word what we are hearing from the Democrat leadership, just supporting what you've just said about this rhetoric and how it can inflame people who are not mentally sound. And the talk has not stopped. It's in fact, they're doubling down on it. Does that make you fear that another attempt on President Trump's life is just around the corner?
Unfortunately, yes. I think the answer to that is yes, and more to the point, I think that there's a lot of people who look at this as a game. I'm seeing a lot of memes and a lot of cartoons and a lot of not coming from President Trump, but coming from Trump's supporters. Hey, 0-2, as if to say, oh, you tried twice and failed twice. It's going to become, I believe, a situation unless it's taken seriously at the highest levels of government. It's going to become a situation where somebody is going to try to be the person who actually is successful. And they may spend the rest of their life in prison or they may die, but they will have achieved what nobody else has done. And perhaps they're looking at it as some type of act of humanitarianism where they're going to save the world. Or again, it's just a mentally defective person. But it sets up a very dangerous stage where somebody will try to do this. And again, I've said this many times that the Secret Service and all of the force multiplying agencies that are involved in protecting not only President Trump, but Vice President Vance, or President, a little wishful thinking there, but the nominee Vance, as well as the current president and vice president, unless they start taking this seriously, we're facing a very, very serious crisis here. And we cannot
If
again, we cannot turn away from the fact that the rhetoric from the Democrat Party and the progressive left in this country is absolutely fueling this.
If you were advising the former president, would you be insisting he wear a bulletproof vest at all times, every time he's out of Mar-a-Lago, essentially? And how would you handle the rallies, the meets and greets he does? And of course, he does like a game of golf. Can he be adequately protected when you do have, well, you've had 8 years of this crazy rhetoric and God knows how many people are out there who've got ideas about being the one to take him out?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, each individual venue, each individual rally, each individual appearance, each individual visit to the golf course in a non-official capacity presents a very unique security threat. Clearly, the threat is elevated. We've had not one attempt, but now two attempts. He is arguably the most targeted person in this country, perhaps even the world. And so, yeah, the security protocols have to be reviewed individually. And the bottom line is that, yeah, I mean, he should be wearing a vest. He should be limiting the exposure that he has until he can have some reasonable assurance that the people who are tasked with his safety and security actually have their game together. And to be honest with you, looking at a Secret Service that is filled with DEI hires, courtesy of people like Kimberly Cheadle and the
Mm.
rest of the Obama administration and the Biden administration, I would have serious doubts about the ability of many of these people to adequately protect any dignitary.
Well, yeah, we saw the scenes in Butler, and some of those agents seem to be completely lost and unfit for the job, to say the least.